My lords, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to episode 4 of the OpenTTD series using the FIRS industry set on the extreme economy settings. In the last episode we left off discussing where we could ship our chemicals to, and we were looking at various sawmills and other such industries nearby that we can utilise. Now I've realised after that we have a sawmill already here at Leatherhead, so it would make sense for us to use this sawmill since it's right on our doorstep. Now this station here at Leatherhead does have coverage of the sawmill. We can see the station accepts wood, and the timber that is produced by this by this sawmill can be shipped out via this station. What we would then do is we take the timber that is produced, we would run it down to this timber yard here at Kearsley. From there, this would produce engineering supplies, and those engineering supplies would then, as we were discussing, be brought in over here to get more production out of our oil wells at West Kirby. I think the forest we are going to use is the one down here just by Chepstow, right here, and we would run the lumber all the way in, drop it off. The train would then return empty. We'd have a separate train that handles the delivery of timber from here to here, and then a separate train, get your words out, once again, that takes the engineering supplies that are produced here at Kearsley up to the West Kirby oil wells. So if we're going to do that, the first thing we're going to want to do is future-proof the approach to this station, and what we're going to do to achieve that is double track as far as the station itself. So we'll do that now, and we'll just parallel up alongside the existing lines that we have, like this, and we'll run that into there. We'll put a crossing point there, so there's our diamond for access to all 4 station platforms. What we're going to want to do after this is, of course, add in our signals. So let's just remove that little junction there. We no longer need that, but we will put one there for the depot for access from both sides, and then we just want to put in some signals. So we'll put a one-way signal there. We'll put a one-way path signal over here as well, like that, and then we can just fill out the rest automatically. And they filled in the wrong way, of course they have, so let's just remove all of those, and instead we'll just fill it in from down here like that, and from down there, and we'll make that way a one-way path signal as well. That's conversion mode. We'll put another blocking signal there and there, and then from here we'll fill out the rest like that. So then what we can do is we want to run a line down to that Chepstow forest we just identified, which is all the way down here. We'll go for 2 tracks on this one. We want it that orientation, and we'll place the we'll place it just there. Kemsing Log Landing. Well, I'm going to rename that to Chepstow Forest. Just delete the current name first of all. Chepstow Forest, perfect. And now we just want to connect this in so it has access into that station at Leatherhead, so the lumber that is being produced here, or the timber, whatever it is identified as, the wood, can make its way over to the sawmill at Leatherhead. So we've got a few rivers to cross here, as we can see. We want to be maybe turning down the way a little bit, I think. In fact, let's come all the way down to the river's edge like that, and then we'll put our bridge over the river, continue our journey onwards, have to just bypass the oil refinery that sits right there, right where we need to be going, but not too much of a problem. Another bridge over here. In fact, let's just take this back a little bit so we can have a longer bridge. And what do we have here? Can't find a path to continue. I know what that is. So let's just head over there now. Just remove that. Where are you? Bring it Oh, there we go. The problem is we don't have a diamond for the exit from this station. So we'll quickly put one of those in just there and send it back that way. Come on, you should be able to go there. Oh, I know what it might be. It might be the signals as well. So let's remove those. And we'll also remove the signals that are here. And then put that in there like that. He's going to get confused because we were too slow to build that, but that's not an issue. He'll soon sort himself out in a moment. And then put our station signals there instead. Right, now let's reverse him once again. And you should now be able to cross over and return to the Leatherhead refinery. Yes, there we go. Okay, so back down here then, that problem averted. And let's think about where do we want to connect into this line exactly. I think, let's have a think. Could we connect in just before the bridge perhaps like that? We could, but we might have to remove these signals that are in place, so we'll do that. And now we should be able to just come out like that. Wonderful. Let's just put some path signals down. Now we can't put one there, so the path signal for this junction is going to have to be right there. Let's convert that to a path signal then, and put a path signal there for that way, path signal there for that approach. Everything else should be okay. It does make this block a little bit longer than I would ordinarily like because the length of the bridges involved, but it's something we'll have to live with. We might rework it later on if it becomes too troublesome, but I think we'll be okay. Now that's going to go straight through the farm there, so let's just come back a little bit to about there. There we go. So we'll bring it out double tracked, although the entire run will not be double track. Instead we'll merge over to single track right here. And are we roughly lined up? Pretty much, I think. Pretty close. We're going to have to go up and down some hills here. I think at this point where we have this hill approaching, what we'll do instead is we'll put a tunnel through this hillside. So if we flatten it all out, so we've got a parallel facing edge. Well, it's not parallel, it's slightly sloped. Not parallel at all. Go away. But yeah, if we have it so it's facing us edge on, that's the best way to describe it, I think. We can put a tunnel through there like that, and then we can continue through on outwards. Now we obviously have a couple of industries here that are about to get very much in the way, so let's kink outwards a little bit before heading back inwards. And to about there, bring it over. Not that way, that's not going to do anything. To there. So we have one section or one stretch of double track already. Let's just signal that up while we're in the area. And we'll start the signaling from there. And start the signaling from about there, just so it's not right up against the junction. So one stretch of double track. We could double track this little bit of track here where we've had to jog out around these industries like that. And again, let's get our path signals in position before working on the rest of the signals. Oops. Just remove that one and try that again. There we go. And shall we have one more passing loop perhaps here? Again, where we just had to jog out by the side of this refinery. We'll not go as far as the bridge. Maybe up to that sort of point there will be long enough. Signal there and back down here. And then our usual block signals coming down the way on either side. Do we want one more passing loop? I dare say we probably do. And what we'll do, we'll extend that track out there, have the passing loop run up here before merging back in down there. And then we'll signal all this up correctly, so that side and that side. And then we can just do the blocking signals Oh, I meant to use that mode, but never mind. Just convert them all. There we go. So the last thing we're going to want is a depot. Or could we use that one? No, we could use this one because the trains can come out this way. Now they can't. Well, can they? Yeah, they can make that 90-degree turn. But I think we'll just give them their own dedicated depot instead. And we'll have the depot B. I'll put it over here, I think. Like that. We won't be able to cross it over. So this will be exiting that way only, which is towards the forest anyway. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then we can build our new train for this line. So let's see, what do we want to use? Well, that's quite expensive per year. So we'll stick with the 060 goods engine. And then what we want is anything that will accept, I believe it is wood. And we'll use the flat wagon for this. These carry 12 tons per wagon. So let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go for 10 as a nice round starting point. And then include the 20-ton brake van. Like that. Just make sure this is retrofitted for wood. I believe it will have been already, but it's always worth double checking while you're in the area. And then you can have your orders, which are go non-stop to Chepstow Forest before heading up to Leatherhead Refinery, and you can access that because that's all linked together. Make sure you full load there and then just unload and leave empty at the refinery. So let's close that down. That's ready to go. So we can start that train on its maiden voyage. We'll just pin that there for the time being so we can see how it performs. And while we're keeping an eye on that, we can set up the new group for this service. So within freight, we want a new group that will handle wood. And this one is coming from Chepstow Forest. So we'll call that CST Chepstow to Leatherhead, which is LTH. Yeah, CPS is more suitable, I think. And then get all the ungrouped trains, which is the one we've just set on its way, and assign it to that group. So that's that underway. We're probably going to want 2 trains running that journey. So what we'll do is we'll allow this train a little bit of time to head down to the Chepstow Forest. And as soon as that train gets into the station, I think that's the point when we'll look to duplicate. So we'll just set it in fast forward and we'll go for the cloned orders option by control clicking the train when we clone it. Let's see here. That's close enough. So start that train on its way, close that window down. The last thing we need to do, which I've forgotten to do so far, is turn it off fast forward, is put a few signals there for exit from the station. So you should start loading, and yes, you immediately have. So we'll now see wood being brought to the sawmill. What we need to do now is get the timber that is produced at the sawmill and get it delivered into this lumberyard right here. So let's get ourselves a new station for the lumberyard. Where are you? There you go. And if we pop it there, and if we need to, we can always use this industry at some point, the metal fabrication plant. Not sure we'll need to anytime in the immediate future, but it's nice to have that option available. What we'll do here then is have this one extend onwards just a little before switching to double track like so. And let me think about that. No, let's not do that. Let's do something similar but not quite that. Let's run, what's that? No, that's the wrong side. Okay, so let's do this instead. Let's, not that. Let's do that. Remove that little bit right there. Extend that to there. Build our bridge like that. Remove that crossing point and that crossing point. That signal can be converted into a normal block signal, as can that one. And then just fill out the rest of the spacing with extra block signals, because we already have the one-way path signal there and there at either end of this stretch. With that done, what we can then do is extend outwards now, like this. Consider putting path signals there and there and there. And that's just for approach to this new junction that we're putting together. Head up this way, cross over this river here, like so. And we're not quite lined up, but not to worry. Can we get up that hill there? No, we can't. So we're gonna have to, let me think about this. What's the best way to do this then? Not that. That's certainly not the best way to do anything. We might have to have this be fairly tight, but I think it should be okay overall. You've gone too far. Like so. And that way we get up the hill. Extend them just a little bit farther. In fact, they've gone too far. Bring that in there. Let's make that a diamond, because we'll just have this whole run double tracked, I think. So if you come into there, remove that. You come over to here. Remove that. And then do a path signal there. Regular signals there. We already have the path signal down here, of course. So what we can do then is... No, not that. So let's just remove all of those. That was on the wrong side. Let's do... Oh, still got remove option on. We don't want that. Let's do that. And that. To fill out the blocks. And at this point then, we can get another new service, although it might be sat idle for a little while. And I think what we'll do, because this one's going to be sat waiting to load along with this chemicals train, that the petroleum train that leaves from here, is just to make sure we're not clogging up all of our platforms with waiting trains and blocking anything else from coming in. Let's go ahead and chuck in, why not, an extra 2 platforms at this station, and just give extra access from either side. So like that and like that. And do the same over here. Bring this down, in, and then make sure we increase the signal count like that and like that. And that should give us a bit more load capability. So we're not going to run out of platforms if we've got too many trains waiting, at least not immediately. And we can then get up another new train using this depot, although it's going to have to head up to Kersley creosoting first of all. Well, that shouldn't be a problem because it gives time for production to kick into gear over here. So another new train, again 060 goods is our go-to at the moment, and you want to haul timber, so you can use a flat wagon again, and much like before we'll go for 10. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just make sure, not that, make sure you are refitted to carry timber, which you should be anyway, but it's always, like I said, never hurts to make sure. And go Leatherhead refinery up to the creosoting plant. You want to be full load there, and then unload everything you pick up over here. And I think you're ready to go. You require a brake van. Whoops, that's my bad. Where is the brake van? There we go. And now you should be ready to go. Okay, I guess that's because you're trying to go that way. Let's go to your orders, not that. Ask you to skip that, and there. Now you're going to go to the creosoting plant first of all. So that's not ideal, but we've got there in the end. It's not caused us too many dramas. So we'll keep you open, pin it for a moment. I meant to keep them pinned so we could see how much money they're going to make, but never mind, we can do that next time around. And let's get yet another new group. Now we don't have any timber trains yet, so this will be a brand new subgroup of timber. And then you are coming from Leatherhead, which is LTH, to Kersley, which we'll call CRS for Kersley. I think that'll work. Or KSL. Yeah, KSL. So ungroup trains, just one of them. Assign you into that group. So as soon as you're in the station, we can now you should unload and then start to leave immediately, which you have. Has your production started yet? Yes, it has. 94 tons. So that train might be awaiting a while for a full load, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue to deal with. And shall we get another couple of lumber trains? 480,000. How much do you carry on a full load? 181,000. Oh no, that's your weight. That's not what I'm looking for. Total cargo 120,000. So yeah, I think we can afford to go for another new lumber train. So let's clone you with the shared orders and send it on its way. So that's the timber production now up and running. We also have engineering supplies about to be produced over here as soon as the timber starts to flow on through. So the next thing we're going to do is run from here up into West Kirby Wells as a source to consume those engineering supplies that we are now producing. Quite inclined to just double track this remaining bit here actually. And to do that, we'll have to do a spot more terraforming, like that, just to enable us to build a tunnel through that little hillside there, like so. So let's do all of this. That train's already on the correct side of the tracks anyway, so I don't need to be concerned by him switching over. And we can remove that crossing point and that crossing point. We can just fill out some block signals along there and along there, and that signal can be removed and that signal can be converted to a regular signal. Oh, it's deleted it. Whoops. Pressing all the wrong things. That's better. So I'm going to put a path signal there as well and delete that signal there. So that's all fine. So the only bit of single track we have is this bit here and this bit here, which again I might get rid of because it causes all of this up to the station to become one block, or at least as far as those signals there. So it's probably worthwhile doubling up over here as well. So let's do that. Let's put a path signal there. You're currently on the wrong side of the tracks, but as soon as you've gone over the diamond, that won't be an issue any longer. And do that. Just remove that one path signal there, which we don't need, and everybody will be happy. Okay, so that's all fine. We'll keep this little stretch single tracked for now. We can double track it later if we need to, but I think we should be okay. So have we got a lumber or a timber, a wood train anywhere near the station to see how much they're going to generate? I think you're the one that's closest. Yeah, you're out of the three, you're the closest one, so you will do. So we will keep you pinned. And in fact, I'm going to get a fourth train running down here, so we'll do that while we're thinking about it. And we'll see how much you're going to generate for us for a full load of wood when you get into this station over here. As we can see, we've got two trains waiting to load up here. The timber train, Leatherhead to Kersley there, and the Leatherhead to Abergavenny petroleum train, which is currently being loaded as well. So getting those engineering supplies up here is going to help, because we're going to have much greater output over here. So it should mean our trains aren't having to wait quite as long for a full load. So that's something we want to tackle pretty soon. Shall we do it now? Well, yes, not much infrastructure is required. Our stations are in position. We just need to get the tracks linking them together. So let's just double track the whole run, because why not? And how are we going to drop down here? We're going to have to do some terraforming here. And what we'll do is we'll just push all that back like that. That's going to annoy the local authority, so we'll have to bear that in mind when we want to build anything in, what city is this? Kearsley later on, but for now it's not going to affect us. Have you come out to... How do we want to cross this river? It's a bit of an awkward position. Let's have it come out to there, and we'll just cross over this way and then swing back out on ourselves if we have to. So cross over there with the suspension bridge and there, and then jog back in your initial direction, not there, but up here, like so. And how are we now positioned? We could probably even come out even further this way now that I look at where we are. So let's extend that, and that makes that bridge a little bit less silly. And let's bring these out now so we know where we're headed to. Bring everything together. It's quite a distance from the station, but that's okay. And again, we'll immediately double track here, so diamond in position straight away. And then let's get ourselves a bridge down to this level, because we've got to contend with that river. So if we bridge like, oh no, it's got to be at the same height. Okay, I'd forgotten about that. So instead, let's push this landscape back, and then we can do our bridge from there and there. And that just saves us dropping down the hill to then climb to the same height again on the bridge, like so. Perfect. And then you can immediately jog this way around, and now we'll head straight down and link up with our waiting tracks down south. So straight on down. Are we lined up perfectly? Oh no, not quite, although it was close. Not bad for a rough guesstimate. Even closer. So down there, and let's bring this up. Whoops. Going all the wrong ways here. There we go. That's up to there. We want a depot, which we will put... we'll put it a little bit further out. We'll put the depot up here. Not there, that's too far away. Put the depot here, and then put those crossovers so they can go either direction from the depot. And then let's do our block path signals up that way, all the way to the station entrance, which we will put a signal there. We want some signals for here so we don't have massive blocks everywhere like that. Signal out the ways all the way to that bit there. Make that a path signal there. Put that as a path signal. And you can just signal all the way back, which should be as far as the station. And you can signal all the way to the depot and convert that one to a path signal, and that should be ready to go. Okay, I missed how much that train made. Never mind, I'm sure it's making us money. I guess the timber train is on its way. Is that it? Yep, that's it, with its first full load. Very pleasing to see that in motion. So we can get ready with an engineering supplies train then from this new depot. So new vehicle. Let's go for the goods, but it's going a fair old distance. And engineering supplies. You carry 20. So let's get 4. And then, of course, the brake van before we forget. On the back. Just make sure you are taking engineering supplies, and your orders are to go to Kearsley creosoting with wait for a full load, drop it off at West Kirby Wells. That's actually in the wrong order. That's better. Yeah, drop it off at West Kirby Wells and load all and leave empty. on you go. So we need yet another new group for this new service. We already have an engineering supplies subgroup, so we could just pop it in that one. And you're coming from Kersley Creosoting, which is KSL, and you're going to West Kirby, which is WKB. So ungrouped trains, there you go. Kersley to West Kirby. Don't want to rename that. And that's going to help the output up over here at our oil wells, which is going to be a big benefit. So you're going back for another full load. Do you have any weight in? You have 76 tons. You carry more than that, so we'll see if one train is enough to suffice for the time being. We might want to think about adding extra platforms here, because I think we've got 4 trains running in this group now. Let's just double check that. So you are the wood trains from Chepstow to... yeah, we've got 4. No, I think we'll stick with 2 platforms. That should be okay. How many oil trains do we have coming from West Kirby Wells? Because we might want a 4th platform now that we have something dropping off here. Let's have a look. So, oil. Oh, look at that. We have quite a few, don't we? We have 5. So, putting an extra platform or 2 in at this station isn't the worst idea in the world. So, let's increase it by 2. Like this. Tie it all into the existing network. Like that. And the same over here. Like so. Wonderful. Signals on these new lines, or for these new platforms. There we go. That's better. So you're going to take a while to get your first full load of engineering supplies, but that's fine. We can live with that. Once things start rolling better, then the wait time should be greatly reduced. So you are... yeah, you're Leatherhead to Kersley, so you are the timber train. So you've got 113 tons awaiting you, and your total capacity is 120 tons. So it looks like for the time being, one train is gonna be there or thereabouts in terms of how many we need. How are we doing on awaiting wood down here? 37 tons, so yeah, I think 4 trains is fine there for the time being as well. Okay then, so now that that's all set up, I think that's a decent place to end for this episode. It's another supply chain created from start to end, at least, well, for one of the end products. Of course, you also produce building materials, which we are not deploying anywhere at this point, but we could drop them somewhere. I'm sure we'll find somewhere where they can be of some value to somebody. Just have a quick look at our lines. So none of them are negative, as we can see by these icons here, so that's pleasing. Some of them, I think this usually means that they're breaking even thereabouts, or there's no data yet because they're fairly new. But as we can see, a lot of these lines are producing high amounts of income for us, so that's great. And we can verify that if we look at our financial screen over here. How much loan do we have? 100. Well, let's repay all of our loans, shall we? There we go. We're now debt free. So trains revenue, we're making, it's climbing each year, of course, as we add more trains, but over $250,000, and the running cost is less than 60,000. So yeah, we're doing pretty well financially. Anything else to check? Let's just have a look at our stations actually, and see how we're doing in terms of weighting cargo. Don't include that. Nope. All, and yeah, that's fine, whatever. And sort by total weighting cargo. So we want to see, that's the right one. So building materials here, which I think we are supplying somewhere, are we? I'm not sure. Over here, petroleum, how much? 70 is not a lot, that's fine. At the colliery, how much coal's waiting? Well, a train has just arrived there. No, it's unloading anyway. But yeah, that's not too bad. Everything else is pretty okay. little port. Oh, you're the tram depot. Bracknell Quarry, the sand is piling up a little. 57 tons, so it's not too bad. Nothing to concern ourselves with at this point in time then, so yeah, we'll continue as we are. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Obviously, any comments and feedback and suggestions you have are welcome in the comment section down below, so please do share them if you have any input at all. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Thank you very much indeed to you guys over there. And for now, all that remains for me to say is, as always, ladies and gentlemen, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.